What's up? I'm Aaliyah, and be sure to watch me and my castmates of Romeo Must Die on E! Entertainment.
I can hit a girl.
I feel very blessed to be a part of this. The character had a lot of me in her. She's edgy, you know, she doesn't take anything. She's got a lot of attitude, but she's sweet at the same time. And I think it's just an ill concept, you know what I'm saying, to modernize Romeo and Juliet and have the action and everything involved. I felt it was a good choice for me for my first flick. So I'm really happy to be a part of this. Andre is incredible. I love him. Everyone is great to work with, a great cast. And I love Russell, Anthony, Isaiah. I'm learning a lot from them. They're veterans, and it's really great.
I missed you.
You miss me. Well, I'm gonna miss you when my father finds out you're here. That's another reason why I was like, put me in this movie, please, because I was a big Jet Li fan, and he's great to work with.
The two of you is very professional couple.
Oh, thank you. No, but no, really. No, he's very sweet, and we get to do a fight scene together. We get to do a lot of great things together. So people should really enjoy this movie. So come and check it out.
Are you scared?
Don't take this personal, but I've been around a lot more dangerous guys than you.
Well, I've always bought Hilfiger ever since he first came out because I always felt that it was me. Well, my image is the baggy pants, little tube tops, and I've always loved Tommy, so it's great for me to model his clothes because I really feel comfortable in it.
This is something Aaliyah has always wanted to do. Oh, very proud of her. You know, she wouldn't have to do this for me to be proud of her, but this just adds to it. You know, I'm proud of everything she does. She's a beautiful, lovely young woman.
Thank you, Mama.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Mocha chocolate.
Okay, Jack. We're rolling. Right. So you're welcome.
Thank you.
To the show. First time in Paris? No, you came.
No, I've been here so many times. Yeah.
What do you prefer in this town?
Pardon?
What do you prefer in this town?
I don't know too much about Paris. Every time I've come here, it's been work. They work me and they work me and they don't give me any time to see Paris. But I'd like to come back one day and just relax and check it out. I think it's beautiful, though. It's a very romantic place. I love it.
What do you want your legacy to be? I mean, I know you're 22,
Yeah, I know.
but like if you could be like, okay, this is what I want to leave my mark as.
I don't know, you know, right now it's hard to say what I want my legacy to be, you know, what I want people to say when I'm long gone. At this point, right now, I'm gonna say that I want people to see me as an entertainer, someone who can do it all. That's how I was trained. My parents, you know, they grew up loving the people of the classic movies, you know, your Sammy Davis Jr.'s, you know, all those people, Fred Astaire, and those kind of artists that could do it all. You know, you had to be able to do it all. And that's how I was trained. And I want people to look at me as a full-on entertainer and a good person. So, you know, we'll talk a few years down the line and we'll see where my head is at then, but that's what I want for right now.
Today is August 25th, and 20 years ago today was a sad, devastating, and shocking day when the legendary R&B singer Aaliyah, who earned the nicknames the Princess of R&B and the Queen of Urban Pop, she was also known as Baby Girl, she tragically died in a plane crash on August 25th, 2001, at the age of 22 in the Bahamas. When Kobe Bryant died, people were obviously thinking about the day Aaliyah died in that horrible plane crash. I was 10 years old when Aaliyah passed away. I wasn't 11 yet until November in 2001. But yeah, I was 10 years old when Aaliyah died. I remember being at church after Sunday school class was over with. Now I remember mentioning about going to Sunday school in some of my videos in the past, and I remember some people commenting, asking, wait, you go to school on Sundays? And I don't think people understood when I said I went to Sunday school. When I said I was going to Sunday school, I meant Sunday school class at church. Because for those who go to church or were going to church before the whole pandemic happened or whatever, for those who went to church, you guys are aware of Sunday school, right? Where they have a Sunday school session for at least an hour, before actual church starts. That's what I meant by Sunday school. Maybe I should have been specific and said Sunday school at church so you guys would know what I was talking about. I never went to school on a Sunday, so you guys can relax with that. But that's what I meant. Anyways, it was after Sunday school was over with, and I was sitting down in one of the bleachers, hearing one of the Sunday school class talk. I recall my former Sunday school teacher, Miss Rose, mentioning Aaliyah. I was like, wait, Aaliyah? Aaliyah as in the R&B singer? Because I don't recall or know anybody else named Aaliyah except the R&B singer. So then I'm like, wait, she died? After I left the church, I told my dad. Then I got home, I told my mom that Aaliyah died. So we turned on the TV and we went straight to MTV, and then the MTV news came up, and then that's when it said that it announced that Aaliyah died. Also, you guys remember the Cartoon Network Cartoon Fridays Big Pick weekend in 2001? That was a great weekend. That was Cartoon Network at its best, the golden age of Cartoon Network. But that was a great weekend. That ran from Friday, August 24th until Sunday, August 26th. Yeah, so it ran from Friday to Sunday. And then I remember I was going to my first year of middle school in the 6th grade. On the 27th. Around that Cartoon Fridays Big Pick weekend, Aaliyah died on that 25th, that Saturday. She also died on my cousin's birthday. And there's even a woman by the name of Tiffany Patterson. When I saw her, she looked like and resembled Aaliyah a bit. We were friends. And then I started to develop a crush on her, around the 7th grade. This one classmate of mine gave me her phone number. Us talking on the phone, unfortunately, didn't go so well. She was, I don't know, she just sounded all mean. I don't know if she thought I was calling her a lot. That wasn't my intent. I don't think I was doing it as much. I wasn't doing it every day or anything like that. But I guess I went a bit too far, unfortunately, and then the point where I was done with her. I got upset with her because I'm being this nice guy, and then all of a sudden I feel like I'm the bad guy where I'm getting angry, and then I just hung up on her, and that's it. And I think she moved away, but I did have a chance to apologize to her. She moved on. I think last time I checked, she was in a relationship with a guy, so that's it. But Aaliyah has a book out titled Baby Girl, better known as Aaliyah. You know, the way Timberland said it in that Are You That Somebody song. So, and apparently it talks about Aaliyah's life and her career, also her death in that horrible plane crash.
Well, now to the life and legacy of Aaliyah. 2 decades after her death, a new biography sharing never-before-told stories about the singer and an eyewitness account about the moments before her passing and celebrating her impact on music. We spoke with the author of Baby Girl, better known as Aaliyah. Kaylee Hartung has that. Good morning, Kaylee.
Hey, good morning, Amy. She was the princess of R&B. She won us all over with her beauty, her style, that music, and that dancing. Now, nearly 20 years after her death, this new book is lifting the veil on the moments that put her in the spotlight.
She was that somebody, a teen R&B phenom that grew up before our eyes and helped define a generation. Aaliyah Houghton, simply known as Aaliyah, reaching the top of the charts and our hearts in the 90s and early 2000s with undeniable hits like One in a Million and Try Again. And starring alongside Jet Li in the blockbuster film Romeo Must Die. She was poised to take over the world until at just 22 years old, her life was cut tragically short, On August 25, 2001, a charter plane carrying her and 8 others crashing minutes after taking off from the Bahamas. Now, 20 years later, a new book by author and journalist Kathy Iondoli, titled Baby Girl, better known as Aaliyah, is reporting new details about her death and enduring legacy.
She died a few weeks before 9/11. So that ended up overshadowing her death in a sense. We weren't able to grieve. What started to happen over the years was Aaliyah became an aesthetic. She became this like mythical creature. She became almost like a statue, a piece of iconography.
Iondoli says her perspective provides a fresh take on the star.
I wanted to create something that celebrated her because I was sick and tired of the other static that was coming in about her, the other things, the other news. And there's only really one way to tell a story, and it's to provide this panoramic view of the artist.
The book also recapping the early years of her career, including a troubling relationship and secret marriage with R. Kelly in 1994. Aaliyah, just 15 at the time. R. Kelly, 27. The marriage soon after annulled. R. Kelly is now facing federal charges for alleged sexual abuse of women and underage girls, including Aaliyah, who prosecutors say had her age forged on their marriage license after Kelly allegedly bribed an official to make it 18. Kelly has pleaded not guilty to all charges.
That was not a couple. That was an abusive connection where someone trusted her producer and was preyed upon. I didn't want to bring this up, but over the years and after watching Surviving R. Kelly, I felt it was an obligation as a fan, as a journalist, and as a woman to address it.
And a shocking claim making headlines. Iondoli alleging the artist may have been medicated before boarding that fatal flight.
I had to tell the story as it was told to me and as the off-record multiple people who spoke about the incident said to me as well. You can't be told that someone was handed a pill and moments later was brought upon a plane. After moments before that, she was adamant about not getting on. Now, whatever that pill was, I can't say. But what I can say is that she didn't want to get on the plane.
Despite the ups and downs the singer experienced, her music is what many will remember the most. Iondoli says she's celebrating Aaliyah's life as if writing a love letter from a fan.
Aaliyah's legacy is tenfold. It's strength, it's genius, it's feminism, it's empowerment. 20 years later, we're still watching it happen, and I hope that we're still watching it 20 years from now.
And it's hard to believe, but all this time, Aaliyah's music has not been available legally on streaming services. Her catalog has been caught up in a dispute, but a distribution deal has apparently been reached, and you can listen starting this Friday. Her estate is not thrilled, but her fans, they are. And that new book, Baby Girl, better known as Aaliyah, is available now.
So basically, what I found out now, the details of what led to her plane crash. Aaliyah, who was a nervous flyer, refused to board on the small plane, believing the size of her 7-person entourage and all their luggage would be too much for the jet to bear. So basically, if they were in a bigger plane, it sounds like Aaliyah obviously would have been on board. Now, at the same time, members of the entourage were reportedly arguing with the pilot after he told everyone the plane would be too heavy for them and all their luggages. Aaliyah then had a headache, so she climbed back into the taxi van to lay down on the back seat for a quick nap. The team member handed Aaliyah a pill, which she took before falling into a deep sleep. Aaliyah was allegedly still in the slumber when the pilot finally caved and allowed Aaliyah and her team to get on the plane. Aaliyah was taken out of the van and not knowing she was getting boarded on a plane. She was on the plane asleep. It sounds like she never woke up. Even when she was on the plane, she was still asleep. And it sounds like before the crash, Aaliyah was still asleep and she never woke up, which means she never woke up and witnessed the plane crash. At 6:50 p.m., the flight took off, but only got between 60 and 100 feet in the air before nose diving back to the ground. Aaliyah and 8 of the others were killed instantly. 2 others died in the hospital. And then the worst part was the plane also caught on fire. Just like when that helicopter crashed with Kobe and his daughter Gianna and the others, that caught on fire, and that seems similar to what happened to Aaliyah and the others in that plane crash. So Aaliyah's body was found like 20 feet away from the wreckage, and she was still strapped into her seat and slumped over to her left. She suffered from severe burns and major head trauma. And get this, the pilot was not qualified to fly the plane as he had traces of cocaine and alcohol in his body. Of course, Aaliyah's plane crash is a tragedy and is very sad, but it's even sadder knowing about more details of what happened. I mean, think about it. It's sadder to know that Aaliyah went into a deep sleep and she was carried into the plane and she died without witnessing the plane crash. I think if the entourage was just more patient and not trying to rush to go to Florida, and it would have at least gotten a bigger plane, you know, so that way they wouldn't have to worry about the load of luggage issues. I obviously feel like Aaliyah would be alive to this day. They said that she was trying to just lie down for a quick nap. She didn't have no quick nap. Whatever pill her team gave her, she ended up in a deep sleep. A deep sleep where she didn't have no quick nap. So the pill they gave her, it sounds like maybe Aaliyah was drugged. It sounded like she was drugged up. Did they accidentally gave her a pill that drugged her up, but they weren't really aware of it? Or did someone purposely gave her the pill to drug her up and put her in the plane, like something was up to no good? It's just sad that Aaliyah, such a beautiful and sexy and seemed down-to-earth, nice person, she doesn't seem like she would be that type of person to die tragically the way she did, where she got all these severe burns and head trauma. So 6 days after Aaliyah's death, her private funeral was held on August 31st. Her body was set in a silver-plated copper deposit casket, which was carried in a horse-drawn glass hearse. 800 mourners were in attendance. People who attended her funeral were Missy Elliott, Timberland, Gladys Knight, who is Aaliyah's aunt. Yes, Aaliyah and Gladys Knight are related because her uncle was once married to Gladys Knight. Puff Daddy was at her funeral. Little Kim, you see Little C's right behind her in this picture. Mike Tyson, Maya, Usher, Monica. Next to her is singer Tank in the blue shirt, Busta Rhymes, Jay-Z, Angie Stone. There's R&B singer Joe right there in the sunglasses, Genuine. So those were the people that were at her funeral. It just sucks, you know. I can't believe that 20 years later, Aaliyah has been gone. Like, just not right. Aaliyah will only be 42 years old right now if she was living. Her music is still alive. She is still talked about to this day. Now, I went to reddit.com and somebody asked this question a year ago. This person asked, how come Aaliyah isn't as talked about as Selena is? And this one person says, great question. Selena was gunned down by a fan while Aaliyah died by her entourage insisting that her overload plane take off. Both tragedies, but murder makes a better story than stupidity. Really? You sure your answer wasn't filled with stupidity based on what you just said? Then this other person says, because Selena was a victim of Craig's fan, the woman who was head of her fan club, and Aaliyah died in a plane crash. Both tragic, just like the other person said. The other person said, but being murdered is scarier. What? Wait. So you thought Selena being murdered was scarier than Aaliyah dying in a plane crash? You mean to tell me Aaliyah dying in a plane crash wasn't scary either? Are you kidding me? Look, it was both scary for the way they both died, okay? Selena being murdered was scary, and so was Aaliyah tragically dying in a plane crash. Aaliyah died without knowing what was going on, as she was in a deep sleep. Not to mention, she had severe burns and major head trauma. You mean to tell me that's not as scary as Selena being murdered? Are you kidding me? What's wrong with people? Who says this crap? Aaliyah died before 9/11. You know what I'm saying? So 2001 was crazy. You know, Aaliyah died, and then, you know, what happened to those people that died in New York. That was horrible. And it seems like Aaliyah's death was kind of overshadowed by 9/11. It's like, why was her death overshadowed? I mean, both were tragedies. Tell me where you guys were when you heard the news that Aaliyah died on August 25th, 2001. And how old were you at the time? What was your reaction? And some of you probably weren't even alive. Rest in peace, Aaliyah. You are definitely, truly, truly missed.